Hey guys, welcome to Arsenal Fan TV. This is the review of Arsenal versus Burnley. The final score being 2-1, which ensures that we progress through to the next round of the FA Cup. And in truth, I'm a lot more happier with the result than I am with the performance. It wasn't the greatest of displays from Arsenal. I think this was definitely a performance that showed a lot more to be desired from an Arsenal perspective. But credit to Sean Dyche's Burnley side, they did make it difficult for us at times in this game, which is maybe why we struggled throughout patches in this match. But also considering we should take into account that we did start the game with 11 players that haven't had much game time playing together in recent weeks. It was always going to be a game that maybe lacked a little bit of fluidity, but I think there are still a lot of positives we can take from this match. First, over the win, it was vital we got a win under our belt and got through to the next round of the Cup, considering the disappointment of Chelsea last weekend. And with one eye on that game against Southampton, it was vital we restored a winning mentality within this group of players. But like I say, individual performances, Chamberlain looked a lot more assertive, especially in the second half of this match. Alex Iwobi got another start in an Arsenal shirt, and I thought he looks really good for the time that he was on the pitch today. He did some really great runs going forward. Really does look like a player that is thriving with confidence. We also saw the return of Thomas Rosicky and Francis Coquelin to the Arsenal side, and we did see the debut of Mohamed Elneny, who I thought had a really decent game today. I'm not going to over-elaborate on his performance. I don't think he was anything spectacular, but he had a rather conservative, a rather safe game. Got a good range of passing on him, a very good shot on him, a no-nonsense kind of player that likes to get it out of the Arsenal box as soon as possible, which is great to see because in previous years we have had players that are a bit reluctant to get it and hoof it out of our own box when we are a little bit under the cosh at times. So good to see that from Elneny. Really does look like a player for the future, and if he can build up some kind of midfield pivot with Francis Coquelin, really is exciting to see, but I think it's a bit too early to judge him, especially on his debut. We didn't really get to see him in that central defensive midfield role. We saw him in a box-to-box kind of position. I think he did well there, especially lining up alongside Francis Coquelin, as I say. And relating to Coquelin, I thought he took time to grow into the game, but given that he has been out for a month and a half, we'll of course give him a little bit of respite, as he's going to take time to get back into the Arsenal starting 11 and get back into the swing of things. But all round, great to see him back in the team, as it was great to see Thomas Rosicky as well. But this was a vital win, like I say, and it started off all right. It was a little bit sloppy at times. Our passing wasn't the best. I think you could tell that there were a lot of players deputising for other players. This game did lack a lot of fluidity, mainly down to the absentees of Aaron Ramsey as well as Mesut Ozil. And looking at the defence, it was a little bit unstable at times. We did see Gabriel and Koscielny start at the back, who I thought looked rather convincing. I'd say Gabriel, out of the two, was the better player in this match, but Koscielny did have a rather solid performance. But at times, he is looking a little bit liable, which is a bit worrying from Koscielny's point of view. But we also saw David Ospina starting goal. Doesn't really have the same commanding presence as Petr Cech. Callum Chambers, a right back, thought he had a really good game, got the goal, which was absolutely phenomenal. And at left back, Kieran Gibbs, I thought had a rather out of sorts performance. But the first goal came through Callum Chambers. Lovely work by Alexis Sanchez, first of all threading it into him, and Chambers has taken it on the outside of the boot. A goal that we really needed, considering we weren't playing great football at the time and we weren't really pressurising the Burnley goal. Burnley was sitting deep and were happy to soak up the pressure from us. But fantastic finish from Callum Chambers, which was very uncharacteristic from him. And he did score against Burnley last season, so it seemed to loving playing them at this moment in time. Great to see Callum Chambers get on the score sheet. That should fill him with a load of confidence. And I thought he had an all-round really good performance today. But 1-0 to the Arsenal, and I really was hoping that we'd build on that and win this game about 3-4, maybe even 5-0, because we needed a big win and we needed a confidence-boosting performance. But that wasn't the case shortly after we conceded, and it was a really poor goal to give away. In truth, it was just, you could tell it was coming because we were giving Burnley so much time on the ball. They were getting into space and we just weren't able to win the ball back off them. I think it was Vokes that got in between our two centre halves and just poked it past David Ospina with a really towering header, which Ospina couldn't do much about. I think he could have done a little bit better about it, in truth. Yeah, I think maybe if it was Petr Cech in goal, maybe he'd have done a little bit better, but we can only question that one. It was a poor goal to give away at the end of the day, really sloppy. We shouldn't have done it. It did make things a little bit more difficult for us at the time. We did end the second half strongly. We were having a little bit of pressure on the Burnley goal, but couldn't find the breakthrough and went into half-time at 1-1. Going out into that second half, I thought we played a lot better. Like I say, Chamberlain grew into the game. Thought he had a really good performance in that second half. He really did look a bit more like the Chamberlain of last season or the season before that. He just seems to be a player that rides so heavily on confidence, and I think it's just important that he gets a run out in the team now and has that favour put in by the manager. I don't think he'll start against Southampton, ironically, but like I say, it's good to see him get a performance today. Get the assist for the goal from Alexis Sanchez, which came relatively early on in that second half. Playing the ball in, I think it was from Iwobi, played it into Chamberlain. A wonderful cross from Chamberlain. I think he beat his man, played it in to Alexis Sanchez, who took it first time into the back of net. Great goal from his point of view, and it's good to see Sanchez get a goal and an assist on his return to the Arsenal starting 11. A fantastic asset to have in the squad. And if Chamberlain continues to put in good performances, or he builds on the one he got today, then we've got some fantastic options going up top, and also some fantastic options in midfield as well. Now with the return of Francis Coquelin and Elneny making appearances in the side, we've got some fantastic options in this side. I can't help but feel we could have won this game about 3 or 4-1. Walcott had a fantastic chance in this game to make it 3-1 and put the game to bed. If he wants to be regarded as a full-out centre forward in his Arsenal side, he has to be finishing the chance that he got one-on-one with the keeper, had all the time in the world. I mean, he must have had about 3 to 5 seconds in which he could have thought about putting that away. Tried to take it around the keeper, but absolutely made a hash of it. It was absolutely abysmal from Walcott. Got to be finishing that. He is so bang out of form at this moment in time. And as well as that, regarding our other striker, Olivier Giroud, didn't have a really good performance today. I thought he was a little bit sloppy. Really didn't seem to get involved in the game, and he really is a bit of a liability when he's not looking motivated for a match. He just doesn't really seem to link up, albeit he was involved in the first goal with the layoff to Iwobi, who then played it into Chamberlain and set up the goal for Alexis Sanchez. He does seem to be a little bit unmotivated at times, especially when we're playing lower league opposition, so I want to see a bit more from Olivier Giroud in these kind of matches. Otherwise, he is a bit of a stand-around kind of player that does seem to be a bit frustrating at times. But anyway, a win today, 2-1 against Burnley. Not the best performances, but a great win which sees us go through to the next round of the FA Cup. Please do get your thoughts on this game in the comments below. Please do like this video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV, and as always, I will speak to you very, very soon.
You see, for me, this is, one of the highlights of the tour. You see this? This is a gold Premier League trophy. You will not go to any other ground in the Premier League. Not Man United, not Chelsea, not City, not any of those grounds and see these, because this is unique to Arsenal.